almost forgot about the mic. So one more. Whoops, gotta move the T. So I think I have time for one more. We'll see. Roommates came home, left again. So, ba-da-bam. Let's do one more. We are in the middle of doing some aiming stuff. So we equip our rifle. And we have this. It's shaking incredibly much though. But that's fine. Let's go with that for now. So what are we doing? So yeah. First thing is first. Let's do some. There's some things we need to do. Equip. We have the equip rifle. So right click, create any montage. So we're gonna do an animation montage when we equip, but we're not gonna play it at the entire body. We're just gonna do a new slot, call it, how do we do this in Unreal Engine 5? Oops. What did I do now? Clear. No idea what I'm doing. Let's just delete this montage. Create any montage. Bam. There we go. And new slot. Always notifications when I start recording. How do I name the slots here? Default slot group. No, I don't want to call it slot manager. There we go. Slot, add slot, upper body. We're also gonna add a slot called lower body because we might need it later. And delete slot. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is gonna play in the upper body. Is it? Yep. So it's now playing in the upper body. So what we need to do is we need to go into our player character or into the animation blueprint. In the anim graph, we need to add the slot. We have this layer blend per bone. So this blends our weapon blend animation. So we are gonna slot. So we're gonna, if you type slot, you search for slot, you find this, but we're gonna get the upper body this time. So we have the default slot, but we need the upper body now. So we're gonna do another blend. We can actually just copy this blend. So the base pose is this one, and what we want is the upper body slot. So since we have this blending by, let's do 0.2 on that one. Isn't that correct? Why does it say visible but ignore source? Yeah, Do we need to cache it? 1 second, I don't remember. We might need to pause. Yeah, exactly. So we need to cache the pose. How did I do this in my other project? Yeah, so we need to cache the pose. So basically what we need to do is we need to grab this, stop it there, cache, new saved cache, and we're just gonna call this normal movements. And then we're gonna plug in, we're gonna get normal move, no, get cached, use cache pose. There, use cache pose normal movement. Does this work? Compile. There we go. Okay, so this is a little bit confusing if you haven't done this before. So basically what we are doing here is on this, basically we are saving the movement state here so that we can use them otherwhere on other places. So I forgot how to speak. Otherwhere is a really good word though. I vote we make otherwhere a word. So we can use, we cache it to the normal movement so that we can use it otherwhere, and we're gonna use it on the normal movement as the base pose, and we're also gonna use it modified by the with any animation playing in the upper body, and blend it by the spine. So that means that when we play this animation montage, it will be only playing in the upper body, which means that we can move around on the lower body and still play the animation on the upper body. So in the rifle, we are gonna open full details, go to the details, and we have this equip montage. No, there, equip montage. We need to drag this in to the rifle so that we actually use the equip montage on the rifle. And I think we already made the code for that, didn't we? So we're gonna pick it up, put it in our main hand, bam. So equip weapon. So here is the montage we're playing, and there is the delay. Is it good enough? 0.3. .4. Better. We're gonna go with that. That's fine for me. So perfect. Okay, and we also have this pistol. So what we can't do now is we can't do them both at the same time even when we have them equipped, so let's fix that. Because what we're doing here on the Q input is we are only choosing one. So either you can do 1 and 2, like the buttons, so 1 for main weapon, 2 for secondary weapon, or you could do some kind of scrolling function. I'm just gonna do that. So I'm gonna do, when I press Q, I'm gonna select the first weapon, and so when I press Q, I'm gonna select the first weapon, or how, yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna scroll with Q. Not sure why I chose Q, but that's just the way it is. We can just change the letter later to the mouse wheel or whatever. So we are gonna do a enumeration. Yeah, let's just do weapon manager, and let's make it of an integer. So 0 is going to be unarmed, 1 is going to be main weapon, 2 is going to be secondary weapon. So switch on int. So if it's 0, we are gonna equip the main weapon. If it's 1, we are gonna equip the secondary weapon. And if it's 2, we're gonna set it to 0 and equip unarmed. So basically, right. So get weapon manager, no, set weapon manager. So we can just do it like this. So if it's 0, we set it to 1. If it's 1, we set it to 2. Which means the next time we will go to unarmed, which will be here. And on unarmed we will set it to 0. Does that make sense? There's also one more thing we need to do with the equip weapon. So when we set the current weapon, we need to this is confusing. I understand that it is. So we should change this. We're gonna get this. We could make this a little bit easier. We're gonna get this. We're gonna collapse it to a function. No, okay, we're gonna get this and this. We're gonna control it like this, and we're gonna collapse it to a function. So basically everything on the bottom, right, is now a function. We will name this function f equip secondary. Right. And that means we can also, since we copied the last one, we can just but it's the same code, right? Yeah, we can actually just reuse this, right? So in this one, actually we can just do like this. This is better. So I'm gonna walk you through this. Weapon to equip. Call this F equip weapon. So the weapon to equip, like this, and so this is if it uses the blend space. So it is a little bit more nodey and complicated than it needs to be because of all of these workarounds that we've made. But that's fine. So I'm gonna walk you through it later, just so everybody is following along. So here, comprise it. So this is now equipping the weapon. Now we also need another input, and this is item to unequip. And we are gonna unequip the other weapon basically. So we are gonna get the details of that one. So let's do a sequence here, just to keep it cleaner. There we go. So this is the equipping part, and then downwards we'll do the unequipping part. So what do we need to do? First we need to set the static mesh can actually be the same. We only need to change the static mesh when we are equipping. Now, of course, because we are doing this one. Yeah, because we need a reference to that one. Sorry. Okay, let's do it easier then. Let's go back. Equip secondary weapon. Perfect. Here we go. We equipped the secondary weapon. Let's do another one called unequip secondary weapon. And this one will be, actually we don't need the item, the inputs here. Get secondary, because we can just get the secondary weapon. In this case, and the same in the other one. And so in the unequip, we're gonna change the socket to the unequip socket instead. The static mesh, we don't need to set the static mesh because it's the same. And we also don't need to change this because that's only gonna be depending on the so yeah, basically the only thing we need to do here is we actually need to set the weapon mesh to the unequip socket. We're gonna copy the equip secondary and call it equip primary. Let's just see. Yeah. Equip primary weapon. And here we will get primary main weapon details, it's called apparently, not primary. And once again, we don't need this, don't need this, don't need because this was the equip one, sorry. Get the main weapon there, and I think if in the equip secondary we shouldn't do the current one, we should do the main one there. Main, and we need to change this one to main weapon and just control click to drag it to this one instead. Mesh is correct and BP is correct. That is the same. And let's do unequip primary weapon. And in the unequip we can delete all of this. There we go. So now we can go back to the function that we had. So here we go. So in the unrep equip, in the unrep set current weapon, we can delete all of this, which is all of the long code we made before. So if the current weapon is a main weapon, then we're gonna equip main weapon. But first, we always need to unequip first before we equip. So unequip secondary weapon in case we have that. And then we equip primary weapon. And the reason we need to do the unequip first is because actually it doesn't matter, I realized, because we removed that code. But yeah, might as well. And then we, in the secondary, we need to equip secondary weapon and unequip primary weapon. There we go. We should probably do an unarmed here as well. Get current weapon. I accidentally deleted this, but we need to get it, break it, item type. There we go. And drag in the item type. So we are switching by the item type. So I feel that we've probably forgot something. Let's walk through it. Inputs. I press Q. We do equip weapon. Secondary weapon, main weapon. We play the montage and we set the current weapon to the weapon to equip. We get the current weapon, and if it's a main hand, we unequip secondary and equip. Yeah, maybe it will work. Let's see. So we have a both main and a secondary. So I press Q and we equip this one. I press Q again. And we do equip the main hand. We do equip the secondary weapon, but we do not unequip the primary weapon. So main hand weapon details, main weapon details. Because we still use the equip socket here. We need to do unequip socket. And why didn't it work with the blend space? So that also didn't work. Let's see. Gun. So there's a lot of stuff that's not working here. So we need the blend space should have been changed there. So what's happening? We need to unequip first. I said that before. It shouldn't matter, but so secondary weapon. Secondary weapon. We equip this one. We saw that happen. So the static mesh is set. It is moved. And is it because I'm not switching the... Okay, yeah, it's because of here. Let's see. Is it because I need uses blend space false? Did I set the gun to use the blend space? Uses blend space is false. That means when I equip the gun, uses blend space is false. It should go down here to the animation blueprint. Set the weapon blend alpha to 1. And it should blend this animation. But it's not. And is it because I'm changing? I need to... So... Is it because I need to set the blend space to the default? But I'm using no. Using blend space no. Okay, I'm just gonna grab. Let's see if it's because of something I'm not understanding myself here. There we go. I'm just gonna equip that. And we'll see if that's it. What happens if I just equip the gun? Nothing, right? Yeah. So it's obviously not reacting. That's working. That's working. That's not working. Let me pause for 1 second. I think I found it. I didn't even need to look. So, secondary weapon details. We should not be using the main weapon details here. We should be using the secondary weapon details. That should fix it. So let's see. Secondary, main, equip, secondary. So there we go. We have both yeah, works. And we also need to do we have Pistol, do we have an equip? We don't have an equip. So let's see. Animations, how is it already 30? It was just 24. Pistol starter animation. Alright. There's one more thing we need to do. We also need to just quickly we need a new variable called unarmed details. This also is item details. Might as well do it a rep notify just in case we need that, but we're not going to use it for now. But what we need to do is we need just to set this one to the and this is the one in the retargeted animations, right? And we're gonna enable uses blend space so we don't mix into this one. It's only gonna use the blend space. Call it unarmed, just not sure if I need that. And we need a new of the item type. Item type, we're just gonna add one more called unarmed. And I want this one to be above everything else because it's the default one. So recompile. You need to recompile everything. Master item. Pickup slot. We need to compile that as well. And the drop slot. So basically compile pretty much everything that uses that variable. There we go. And now in the inputs we can also equip the unarmed. And when we equip the unarmed, equip montage, we're gonna do the rifle equip montage for the unarmed. And in here, when we go to item type, there we go. If it is unarmed, we're gonna unequip secondary and unequip primary weapon. So we're gonna unequip both, just in case. So let's see how that looks. And the inventory is also using that, yeah. And we need to compile. Refresh nodes, refresh nodes. There we go. And we broke it. Or did we? Why is that not working now? Let me pause. Alright, I think I know why. So basically when I added that enumeration and moved it up, the rifle was the changed to unarmed, since it previously was main weapon, which was the first one. So I think it maybe pushed everything. So that's a reason maybe to not switch. This was still secondary weapon though. But does it work now then? Yeah. Okay, good. Rifle, pistol, back to unarmed, but it's using the pistol, so we need to set it to not blending. So when we unequip the secondary weapon, no, because we're just unequipping the secondary weapon, right? So let's just do a function for it, it's easier. Equip, let's just call it equip unarmed. Get unarmed details, because maybe we do some stuff later. Actually, we already set all of this, so it doesn't really matter. The only thing we want to do here is set the weapon blend alpha to 0, set the base blend space to the unarmed details. That should work. As long as we also set it here. Equip unarmed. This is the only time we equip unarmed. So, let's see how that works. 38 minutes. Back to the long videos. Bam. 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 So yeah, it's working. The blend is really weird though. Not sure why. It's probably because it's a delay for the equip animation. That you can see he's making this weird. Weirdest thing, so should probably do, yeah, fuck it, that's fine for now. So yeah, that's working. Equip, equip, and equip. Cool. That's gonna be it for this one. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions as always, and yeah, thanks for watching. I know I'm back to the long videos. It's just, this is complicated stuff, and it's especially if you want to replicate everything and you want to make it fairly easy. So like every now and then the videos will be a little bit longer because we're also going to run into issues and everything. So that's just how it is. Anyway, Thanks for watching. See you in another one. Bye.